Alright, so now it's time to do the Loft tool. So the Loft tool is pretty awesome. What it can do is take a profile and extrude it into another profile that's different from it. So this one, to make this fancy glass, it's going to be a circle that turns into a hexagon. Some other cool ones we'll see are like the gramophone. And this one, it goes from a circle to hexagon to a much larger hexagon. And then a fancy doorknob. That's kind of the same thing, circled hexagons. So let's go ahead and start with the first one, which is the fancy glass. So in Inventor, I'm going to start a new file, new part. And I'm going to start a sketch, and I'm going to go on the ground plane for this one so that it looks like it's standing upright like a normal glass would. So I'm going to go circle. I'm going to choose right in the middle there and do 2.5, enter. Zoom out just a little bit. Click Finish Sketch. So now I need to be able to draw a sketch that's 6 inches above this one. So normally when we do extrusions, we just say, hey, extrude this far, but we're doing a different type of profile, so we have to create a new plane. So over here on the plane tool, we're just going to say offset from plane. That's the very first one. So I'll click there, and there's nothing really for me to reference, so it won't let me click the sketch. So I have to go over here to where it says origin, hit the plus bar, and I want to find my ground plane, which is the XZ. I'll click that one, and now I can raise it up 6 inches. It'll either ask me to do this manually by clicking and dragging, or I can just type in 6, enter. I zoom out, there it is. Now I can sketch on that surface. I'm going to say Start 2D Sketch, click up here, beautiful. Now I want to make a hexagon, and the hexagon tool is a little bit hard to find. It's underneath the rectangle tool, and it's hidden inside the polygon tool. So in here I can make a polygon and define the number of edges, or the sides, and this one has 6, so we're good for the hexagon. So I'm going to click the center mark, and now it's just kind of floating around in space. I'm going to purposely make this a little bit off and show you how we can correct that. I'll say done, and I can use my vertical constraint tools or horizontal, either one will work, just to make this line so it's kind of lines up flat on the top. You may have to use your vertical. My orientation is backwards on this one, or it's turned 90 degrees, so this is actually what up and down should look like. Anyway, so as long as you've got this perpendicular, so it's either straight up or straight sideways, either way is good. I'm going to say Dimension tool now, and I'm going to go from line to line like this for the width, and it's 3.5, enter. So if I hit Finish Sketch and then kind of look around it like this, you can see that there's a profile of a circle and then a higher profile of a hexagon. So now I'm going to go over here to Loft. It's right below Sweep, so I'll say Loft, click here, and then click there, and I'm good. I click OK, and I've created a very fancy glass. Super cool. So the last part I need to do is hollow it out. So I'm going to get rid of this plane first. I'm going to right click on the edge of it and turn off the visibility, and use the shell tool to hollow it out. So shell, click the top surface, and OK. Awesome. So I made this fancy cup. I can change the appearance. Let's try glass. So let's try clear blue. So it's kind of a transparent blue. Cool. Yeah, so I can right click on Part, Properties, Physical, and then when I update, that will give me my volume, and I can enter that into the assignment down here, and I will be good to go. Alright, so the next one I'm going to do is the gramophone. So I'm going to start a new file, and go back to Inventor, File, New, Part, and Start 2D Sketch. I'm going to also do this one on the ground plane first. I'll start there, and just to make this simpler, I'm going to reorient this block so that top is facing up, which is weird. Don't know why Inventor does that. And I'm going to start with a circle, and it looks like it has a 2-inch diameter. It's going to go up 6 inches to a 3-inch hexagon, and then up again to a 12-inch hexagon. Alright, So 2 inches first, right here, 2 inches, enter. Hit finish sketch. And then I'm going to do plane, offset from plane. And I'm going to use the origin. Click the ground plane and go up 6 inches and hit enter. And the nice thing is once I've got a plane placed in here, I can reuse that to reference another one. So I'll go make my second plane right now, or really my third one, I guess. Offset from here, another 6 inches, enter, and there we go. Alright, so now I'm going to start a sketch on the middle one, so level 2. I'm going to put a hexagon in there. And this one has not exactly a diameter, but the width is 3, I believe. Yes, so it's 3, so I'm going to click right in the middle. And just kind of drop it in here, and then redefine the edges. Make it 3. And notice it's still kind of off kilter a little bit, so I'm going to make this flat using my horizontal or vertical. And then I'll say OK. Great, now I can do my top one. Start 2D sketch on the very top. And rectangle tool. Click. And I'm going to drop it in there, make this also flat, and then make it 12 inches across. Alright, sweet. So now I'm ready to use my Loft tool. Click Loft, and instead of just 2 profiles, I'm going to click all 3 for this one. So I'll start at the bottom, the next one, and then that one. And I'll click OK. I've got my basic shape figured out. Looks pretty good, right? So I need to hollow it out. I'm going to go over to Shell, click the top surface, and also the bottom one. And then I click OK. So now that makes it hollow all the way through, so I can see through to the back side. If I were to 3D print this, which would be pretty massive, I could hold that up and speak through it like a megaphone. It'd be pretty cool. Change this to, let's try copper polished, or copper satin. Yeah, those are both pretty good. Anyway, so you get the volume, turn it in, and you're done. Okay, so the last one is the fancy doorknob. So the fancy doorknob is a little confusing. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 planes, and well, I guess 5 if you include the original one. And it goes up, so it goes from a circle up to another circle by 1/4 of an inch, and all of these planes are 1/4 of an inch from each other. So I'm going to set this up, I'm going to draw my circle, and then set up all of these planes. So here we go. File, new, start sketch, create, or sorry, start part, start sketch, ground plane, and go circle, and it's 1 inch, I believe. Yep. And finish. And I'm going to go plane, offset from plane, origin, XZ, and it comes up 0.25. It's going to let me type. Weird. Let me try that again. Offset from plane, XZ. There we go. 0.25. Enter. And I'm going to do that 3 times. So I've got the first one, offset from plane, 0.25, offset from plane, 0.25, and I think I need one more. I do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Plane, offset, 0.25, enter. Okay. So now I'm just going to work my way up this tower. So on the second floor, I guess, I'm going to go sketch and click this one. And I need another circle just like the one below it. So I'm type in 1 inch. Awesome. Cool. So I've got that circle, another circle. I'm going to start doing my hexagon. So I'm going to start a sketch on this one. And I need to make a hexagon that has a width of 1.5. So polygon, open this baby up, and I'm going to make it, oh, that looks kind of weird. I'm going to turn this sideways, like that, and make it 1.5, 1.5, enter. Cool. Click check. And then, oh, a little disoriented. Now I'm going to go one floor up, which is the same thing. Turn sideways. Polygon tool in the middle. And I'm going to make it horizontal. And then add in my 1.5 dimension. And finish. All right, so there's the first 5, I guess. 1, 2, 3, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the 5th one is actually not much of a sketch at all. The very top, we're going to make a point. So rather than drawing like anything crazy, we're just going to go to this point tool right here and put it right in the middle, like that. Right click and say OK. So you can't really see it, but there's a little dot there now. So what I'm going to do is go back and finish my sketch, and that's going to be my final sketch or just the termination point. So I'm going to say loft, bottom, this one, that one, that one, and then the very last one is the point. So it should close in like that when I click OK. Awesome. Looks pretty good. Except I've got this nasty set of planes that are in the way. I can get rid of those if I go over to View, down drop on Object Visibility, and get rid of User UCS, or no, where'd it go? Work planes? There we go. User work planes. And that will just get rid of them all at the same time. Okay. I change this into whatever I want. So here's diamond plating. I guess maybe that would be cool for like a toolbox. Kind of a fancy toolbox. But yeah. Pretty cool. Anyway, get the volume, enter that, and you are done.